Hey guys, how's it going? So, another week, another mobile suit, and this week we have the Sinanju Stein. And yes, this is really late. I actually forgot that I put out a special update video, and I didn't actually put up a actual update video. But, we did do a podcast that went up on, I think Sunday night is when I got that up. Either way, if you watched that, we all three talked about it with Gaming Emblem and Gustav the 13th on that one. So, there you go. That was our Halloween episode. And speaking of Halloween, we'll talk about the Halloween event. I guess, cool. They're still banning people, by the way, guys. I'm going to get rid of that one. There's that. We got a step up. I'll go ahead and just talk about this here really quick. The overtuning melee armor. The overtuning parts are pretty cool. And now that we're getting all sets of defensive overtunings, this could be a really cool option for certain suits that have higher levels that people use at higher cost because of their defense capabilities. One of those for me is the Heavy Gundam. I just wish I could get this part without having to spend 195 tokens. Yeah. But anyway. But they're really cool. The cool part is that they're not really that necessary for having good suits outright. It's just something that can kind of help bring up level 4 suits or even level 3s that you are taking into cost that you probably shouldn't be taking them into, honestly. So, if you get these, maybe you can take those in. Maybe. But that's my thought on this part. Not that necessary. But anyway, if you like your old stuff, there you go. Whenever they put in a level 4 Dom Barrage, then I'll probably cry that I'm not getting those parts. But other than that, though, I wasn't maxing out its melee defense anyway, so just getting the normal melee parts is definitely going to be better. In some cases, though, from what I can tell, yeah, it's actually pretty part efficient, unlike the actual armors, which is kind of hilarious. So, yeah. Happy Halloween stuff. Let's go ahead and talk about the Stein, though, before we get too far ahead of ourselves here. The Stein. Literally what the video showed is what we got in the thing. It's got an active purge mode where you touchpad and it does a backflip thing and heavy stuns, and it gives a very good way to fight the current OP meta Unicorn and the Banshee. Which I say current overpowered Unicorn and the Banshee because they are going to nerf it at the end of next month, apparently. So there we go. There was the flip. It's got a beam, 1,500 damage, 8 shots in it total, 0.5 seconds per shot, 2 shots to stun. Really awesome beam rifle. The next thing is it has a bazooka, which is a bazooka, like 6-second cooldown kind of thing. Your typical bazooka. Other than that, it does have the active purge, which allows you to heavy stun things and fight the unicorns and the banshees of the world. And then you have the beam saber, which is just one beam saber, and that's all it has. So it's not that crazy. It does have a heavy attack, though, which is pretty nice. And when you get 50% health, it goes from a 3-second charge to a 1.5-second charge, making it very easy to use and get off in a combo. You can definitely do your purge into a heavy attack, which I think is probably something we're going to see a lot, especially if you're going to get rid of that Banshee or that Unicorn that is just hit awaken mode and you need to get rid of something, or even an ace match. This could be a very effective tool to get rid of an ace. There is the normal suit, and really that's about it. I mean, it's got all the stuff you'd expect, like maneuver armor 4 and stuff like that. I can go through the skills. It's got good health. I know it has 23,000 health. The melee damage is definitely a little bit on the weaker side, though, you know, that's, I guess, actually not really, I guess, to be expected, but kind of awkward, though, that it has just the beam rifle, bazooka, and the Vulcans, and that's it. But yeah, it has 45 range strength and 25 melee. Now, when it hits its Psycho Frame bonus, it does get a bit more there, I believe, for the melee strength. But overall, you can dish out crazy damage to supports if you see one from a distance, and deal decent damage to generals and raids from a distance. This beam rifle is actually really cool. So I am definitely a fan of the beam rifle, and kind of looking at the beam rifle, I'm just now noticing it. Where is my heavy weapon systems? That almost looks like the heavy weapon systems beam rifle for the full armor Unicorn. Is this a sign that we're getting some kind of full armor Unicorn for the support? Oh wait, Unicorn. Why did I say Unicorn? Full armor new. Never mind. Forget what I just said. Never mind. I'm dumb. Okay. Anyway, that does kind of look like it, though. If I can find that stupid gun. It's over here somewhere. I know I laid it. Oh, there it is. But, anyway, point being, though, it's giving me hope for maybe them backtracking to new and things. Or not. Because probably not. But here is that beam rifle. I don't know. I guess it kind of looks like it a little bit. It has the little two things at the top. It's close. Kind of close. But anyway, moving on though. Overall stats, pretty good. Very low ballistic resist, 18, 30-30 for the melee and beam. 85 thrusters for it with 230 top speed and 135 speed. Skills, that's where I was at. Again, we have the Purge, which is kind of cool. And at 50% health, you gain 50% reduced melee damage taken, and you gain damage to your melee weapons. That's what it was. Yeah, so it's actually pretty big for increased damage. And this activates at 50%, which is pretty nice compared to a lot of the others. Other than that, it has everything you'd expect a raid and a 4-star raid to have. Flexible thruster, anti-blast, flight control 3, leg shock absorber 4, heavy attack, melee combo 2, which is pretty nice, force injector level 3, maneuver armor level 4. So overall, pretty good stuff here. Not a bad suit, and if you've already spun for it, definitely something that I could see going for, especially if you don't have a Banshee. And I'm curious if this sets the bar. I mean, I personally think it's worse than the Banshee. I don't think there's really much that is going to beat the Banshee, but can it compete with them? I think it can, for sure. And especially if they hit them really hard this coming month, might be a good thing that you rolled for it. Also, stats for the Zeta Zaku being up, or the Zaku head Zeta, whatever you want to call it. Enhanced tackle level 4, shield tackle, force injector 2. It can't transform. It does have one dodge roll. And that's pretty much it. It does have a pretty cool little melee where it slashes and then stabs forward as far as its downswing. And really, from there, though, it's mainly just a Zeta. Other than that, that's about the only difference. And that it can't transform and fly. So, not too bad. Pretty cool little mission suit that we got. And then, like I said, the step up, if you want to go for that, I think I already closed that. Oops. It has the part at the end. And then the Halloween stuff. So, best parts about this right now, 25% drop rate of boxes and a guaranteed daily mobile suit from the current lottery, which is kind of cool. But if you're like me and everybody else, you're probably getting dupes, like level 4 dupes, which really sucks. I feel like it's just been weighted to give level 4 dupes. But anyway, if you are some of the lucky few who are not getting dupes, then congrats. Because somebody needs to at least get something from this, because this is actually kind of disappointing. I was really excited with this, but now I'm very quickly, like, especially after 1 week, turning against this event, because I feel like I've just wasted 7 days of tokens. But anyway, other than that though, cosmetics and stuff from previous Halloween is out, and that's pretty much the Halloween event. Personally, I loved the community thing of doing the scavenger hunt. It was a nice little difference. After the update, we would spend an hour or so running around figuring that out, and I thought it was kind of a fun thing to do. And yeah. Now, there is the content side of things that got pointed out when we were talking about it on the podcast and stuff. But at the same time, I think it's kind of a cool little community thing that gets people doing something else other than just clan ranked and trying to do custom matches. So, I don't know. I kind of like that community stuff that kind of incentivizes people just getting on, talking, chatting in Discords and whatnot. But yeah, kind of sad that it's not there. That was kind of a fun thing I look forward to every year, just to kind of do something a little bit different when it is 1 a.m. Which, by the way, next week's update should be at midnight. So that'll be a whole lot better. Or I guess I should say, when I say next week's, I mean technically not this update and not the update that's coming tonight, when I'm for the update of the night that I'm filming this. Whoops. But anyway, moving on though, let's go ahead and go through the other stuff here. So here's 14 boxes again if you're doing that. Cool, cool, cool. This definitely affects me where I use push to talk when I play in Discord. I don't want to have my open mic when I'm just talking. A lot of times, especially when I'm streaming, I don't want to, you know, talk to chat and everybody have to listen to me at the same time. So I can just always show because I use push to talk with my controller, and that's the button I use. So I can just put it on always show now, which is really awesome. Dual match, they increase the spawning speed so you can get back to the action a whole lot faster, and you don't have an ants go marching one by one situation because you're kind of forced to march one by one, which kind of sucks. Other than that, though, we have the old patch notes. I believe that's this one. We'll go ahead and take a look at those, see if there's anything notable there. I know we want to rapid fire through it in the podcast, but might as well talk about it here. And then the premium stuff coming this next month. Pretty huge. The Vargul, pretty nice. They recently buffed it. Yeah, so pretty big. The second one being the Jamru Finn, which is an awesome support. Even though I don't play it as much, it is definitely up there, if not being one of the best, if not top 3. Some say it is the best. For me, it's definitely not, but I can't play this thing. I don't know. Something about it just does not fit with me. But it is a very good support. Definitely top 3. Nero Trainer being the one that you can get possibly for free is huge because, in my opinion, this is still like the best raid that you've got at 450, I believe, is where that's at. Now, I don't have all the raids, so I might be forgetting one. But for me, this is the best raid I still have. And that's that for the premium stuff. Other than that, we have ticket shop stuff. The Rigazi level 1 and 2, which is a huge raid still. Very good thing that's in the ticket shop. If you can see that and get it in there when it's up, and there you go. The parts. I wish they would add even more parts to this. Like the overtuning stuff would be nice. But hey, at least they're adding some of them. And yeah, they're pretty expensive. About 250 to 300 tickets roughly for most of these. Except for this one. This one's being pretty cheap. Pretty cool. This actually helps fight against Unicorn and Banshee in TD. And I feel like that's mostly what they're going to just have is that. Unless they actually reduce it in the nerf. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Full Armor Gundam Type B level 3. The Full Armor Hyakushiki level 1. And Shiki Kai, I guess I should say. The Gigan level 1 and 2. And the Desert Yogi 3 is in the DP store, which is pretty nice. Oh! How could I forget the Gigan space in the ticket shop? This thing is amazing. It's huge. It is a crazy support. This thing is fantastic. Get it, try it, play it. Yeah, if you ever see a low-cost space game, boom. That suit is 10 out of 10. Now, I didn't really check what these were here, but here's them up on screen. I'll leave it here for a second. And then they apparently had some confirmed cases of custom parts not showing some information correct. I don't know. I don't think it's like an actual bug, but maybe it's just a text bug or something. Let's go ahead and go through the previous month's stuff real quick, and then we'll go ahead and go through the new stuff pretty fast and wrap this one up. Full Armor Gundam Mark II. Pretty much, yeah, it got some buffs. I don't know, kind of awkward. I think it needs something, but oh well. It looks like it's performing where it should be now, so they're probably not going to touch it again. The heavy arms type is insane for the goof. Yeah, as you can see, this is that huge buff. Crazy, giant buff. This thing's insane now. Go play it. It's a ton of fun. Ewak Gigan getting some buffs as well from last month. Let's see what it ended up with. Not bad. You know, I don't have it, but I guess it could be kind of cool. Fritz Helm. Looking still like it's below average, though its win rate's up, so I'll take it. Did it gain like another dodge roll or something, right? Okay, actually, no, it's just health. Okay, and melee damage. A free DS. This thing's probably a monster now, and I'm afraid to look. And yes, it is a monster now, and I was afraid to look. That is terrifying. Although it's still dying a lot, but it is a very squishy suit, so get in there, kill everything as it looks from these stats, and then die in a blaze of glory. Ramzagok. Actually looking pretty good for the stats. Okay, I'll take it. Let's go, dude. Zaku Half Cannon, the support one this time. looking pretty good for the stats. I actually forgot to try this one out. I definitely need to try this one out. 10% damage across the board, pretty nice. RS Georgia, I definitely tried this one. It feels pretty good. I didn't have this kind of result with it, but I'll take it. Yeah, it looking good on the stats at the bottom. I might need to try it again. Palestine, absolutely insane. Play rate went up, especially for the base cost, and looks like at the highest end. That's kind of funny. The 600 and 650, not really that much, but I mean, damage went up across the board. Looks like it's a little bit lower still, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, this suit feels amazing, personally. I love the Palestine now. I mean, if they want to buff it again because it's still underperforming, I'm okay with that. Just saying. Okay, moving on into this stuff. We'll try to hit this pretty quick. Haimo Zaku late model, pretty big here. It gained a double dodge roll, health 1,500, level, and that's at level 2, by the way, and up for this. Double dodge roll is at all levels. High performance balancer, which I was surprised it didn't have at all levels, and 60 turn rate. Now, level 2 and up, gaining some force injector 2, and reaction booster program level 1 and 2 for level 2 and 3. Level 2 gaining 1,500 health and 5 base speed. Pretty nice. So far from what I've seen, this actually is being played quite a bit and looking pretty good. Gallus J gaining 1,500 health. I thought this suit was still in a pretty solid spot. As you can see, the damage seems to be pretty good across the board, but it's definitely probably got power creep, so a little bit of health for survivability. Definitely going to put this in a better spot. Might be something to check out again if you've kind of left it due to power creep. Yan. Okay, so in the other video we talked about it getting a shield buffer and that being it. Well, luckily they actually did something else other than that. So 1,000 health, 6 turn rate, which is kind of interesting. Double dodge roll, which is actually better than what they did with the shield, and it gained buffer. Now, the good news is the buffer is level 2 buffer, which sadly is only 15%, but at level 3 and 4, that goes to level 3 and 4, meaning 30 and I believe 40% damage reduction. Pretty nice at the higher levels. Really curious to see what next month's stats look like. But yeah, again, not too bad. Definitely a lot better. Should have a shield. Always gonna say that. That should be a shield. Just saying. Char's Galgoog. Haven't really seen this much after people bought it from the thing where you could buy it in the pack, but here it is. HP is increased by 1,500. Speed is increased by 5. Turning speed by 5. No, wait. Thruster by 5. Turning speed by 3 to 69. Nice. And the special leg buffer level 1 going to 2. And a really big quality of life. Movement to left, right, and backward was increased. And now we're in the supports. The Zommel. I meme on it a lot. I still think it's lacking in certain cost, but man, did they buff it. Okay, here we go. Support system. Okay, that's becoming a meme for like supports, that and the radar. Short range part slots on all levels going up by 1, and mid range part slots as well by 1. 8 tube rather, missile launcher going up by 25 damage and a 10-second cooldown from 12. The HE cannon gaining 100 damage and 10-second cooldown from 11.5. Sorry, reload time for both of those, not cooldown. Reload time for both of those weapons. The reload time for the Type 3 cannon going to 10 seconds as well from 11.5, and the power was increased by 100 at all levels. The APFSDS cannon going up by 100 damage as well, and the hit detection has been expanded. Though, personally, this hit detection still feels like about the same, so that is like 0.1% or something. Like, it's like not actually there. But technically it is easier to hit, so I'll take whatever I can get. And then the Vulcan stagger value is increased to, I think it's about 17 rounds. It went from like 2% to 6%. So pretty big there. Overall, this is almost actually feeling pretty good. I can't believe I would say that. But yeah, definitely something to check out. 700 cost, still kind of lacking. But with the Sinanju Stein being very low in ballistic and a lot of other suits being lower in ballistic, not a bad choice to maybe take in. Just saying. Though you can feel how much it gets bullied still here, so Probably not the best, but could be interesting. At 650 and below, I've been having some really good games with it, so can't really complain too much at 650 and below. Gun Cannon 2. This has been a suit that supports have complained about for a long time, except for like the 3 people who played it. I wish they put the play rate on this, but they did not. Frontline system, getting it again, meme there, and high performance raider. Oh my gosh, look at that, the meme skills. But the big thing here and the biggest change, and what makes it actually really awesome to play now, is you can use focus fire and non-focus fire when using its cannon. Also, its cannon and unfocused fire gains ASL, which wasn't put in this, and it also has 50% stagger rate, which is pretty nice. You actually have a pretty good way to get some stun build up on targets now with the Gun Cannon 2, making the Gun Cannon 2 a pretty solid suit these days with that. I'm really curious to see if that's increasing the damage by a lot or not, but so far, the couple of games I've tried in it have been pretty good. So, can definitely recommend trying the Gun Tank 2. We'll have to wait and see, though, if that is enough to really fix the mountains of power creep that's happened over the years, but yeah. Assault Gun Tank also getting a pretty big buff here. So, in the transform mode, it's also getting the thrusters and health, so 1,000 health and 5 thrusters. Cooldown time, which the thruster helps it be in tank mode longer. Cooldown time for the APHE cannon going from 7 to 6, which is kind of nice. Was kind of hoping for a little bit more there for that one. Multi-tube rocket launcher, which is the side rockets that really suck, and they kind of still do. Luckily, not taking 7 to 8 shots, but now they take 4 and deal 50 extra damage, which is pretty nice. Still don't know if I can find a spot to use them in, but I'm definitely going to try to fit it in there. The biggest change, though, is the flamethrower deals increased incendiary damage. It's not that much, but it is over time, and it is pretty much guaranteed damage unless they have like iframes or anything like that. So, and you know, again, with the assault gun tank, very easy to apply. Pretty big here. Fuel depth charge, 10-second reload from 15, which is kind of nice. That way you can pretty much, I believe, go into it, shoot your depth charge, untransform, and then pretty much go back into it to do it again, is kind of what the main concern there with it was. When you would transform, you would use it, and then you would have to wait like 2 transformations later to do it again. Gyaradoga Heavy Arms, lots of support stuff here. Getting a buff as well. Range increased to 550 for its cluster gun. Stagger value is increased, I believe, to 60 from... No, I believe it was 60, now it's 80. That's what it was. And rigidity time has been reduced, so you don't stand still when shooting it as long. And reload time going down to 14 seconds. Reload time for the main Bruno APHE round that stuns heavy staggers is 25-second reload time now, which, you know, is pretty nice on something that takes this long to reload. Other than that, though, you can combo with other things to pretty easily get a cluster round stun going back into your main weapon even. And, yeah, really curious to see what the stats are on that one. The Jesta Cannon. Sadly, pretty bad when it came out. But just about everything got buffed. So, the Beam Cannon Rifle gaining 200 damage and going from 13 to 10-second reload, and stagger accumulation value has increased. The Shoulder Beam Cannon stagger accumulation value is also increased and reduced required recovery time after using the weapon. Power is increased from 200 to 350 for the Shoulder Multi-Launcher as well, which is pretty nice. And the reload time has been shortened from 11.3 to 10 seconds for the Beam Rifle Grenade. Not too much of a change there, but the switch time is always much appreciated for any support when you're trying to combo your weapons. Now, that is pretty much it for the supports. Overall, not too bad this time. Really curious to see what some of these do. Definitely a lot of supports, which I always like seeing buffs there, of course. No bias here. Nope. But we have anti-ballistic armor, cooling system, and force cooling system getting some changes here. Mainly just part slots changing. Now, I'm curious if this is a typo or not, but yeah, these are for the level 5 going to 6 and level 4 going to 9. I believe that is wrong. I believe this is a typo. I could be crazy, but yeah, we'll have to see if that was part of the bug that they were talking about in the previous thing or not. But from what I can tell, this is like still like 10 and this is like 9. So yeah, anyway, I don't have the level 5 part. I do have the level 4 beam. I don't think I have level 4 ballistic. I can't remember. Maybe I do have the ballistic and not the... And I have the level 5 beam to compare it to. Something like that. But either way, if anybody can confirm that has both level 4 and level 5 ballistic, that this is true, let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, the cooling system, kind of cool here. It's gaining the reduced recovery duration when overheated, which is kind of nice. And then force cooling system, thruster recovery speed effect on level parts going, and then the part slot has been reduced for short and medium. So, kind of cool. Overall though, hopefully they do more with parts. I think parts is one of the biggest and coolest things that they could really just change around and mix up the entire game with if they utilize that system well. Right now though, it is to fix some health and defenses and, you know, maybe thrusters at most. And then if you don't need any of those, you just throw on damage. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if they actually fully utilize the part system. Well, I think now that we have some big suits that have a ton of part slots, we can actually start seeing some really cool builds coming out if they put in enough effects. And I think the entire game has had a missed opportunity with their part system, where you could really customize your playstyle to really fit something very unique to yourself and how you play the game. But that is a topic for another time, because this video's already gone on long enough. So, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff in the description below. What do you think about this update? Since it has been almost the entire week, it pretty much has. Let's just say it has. What do you think of the update? Did you get anything good in these boxes if you got them? Or did you even get them at all? Did you get the Sinanju Stein or the, well, did you finish the stuff for the Zaku Head Zeta? What do you think of any of that? Anything and everything, let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, guys, that'll be for this one. Usual stuff in the description: Twitch, Twitter, Discord, TikTok, and Instagram now. Finally remembering to put those in. But have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace!